Hi, what are you doing?
A clinical audit.
And what's a clinical audit?
It's a way we can check if we are working to standards.
Oh, will you be long?
Well, this is just the beginning.
Okay, so what's next?
If compliance is not good enough, we'll do some root cause analysis to understand why.
And what then?
Then I'll work together with colleagues to identify changes we could make that will make an improvement.
Will that mean big changes?
Not necessarily. We need to know what makes a difference. We make a change at a time to see if there are any improvements.
What will that do?
Show us what is working and lead to improving patient care.
Really? Can clinical audit do that?
Yes, clinical audit is one of the original quality improvement tools, but like all tools, it only works if you do something, then measure and monitor to see the project through.
Do you have an example?
Yes, what about this?
We work closely with the clinical audit team to improve the service that we provide. We have recently undertaken an audit in relation to twins and multiple births. First of all, we assessed our level of compliance with the NICE clinical guideline and demonstrated that at that time we were only 33% compliant with the guidance provided. We then collated an action plan and then delivered the improvements to our service that were required, and these related to the way that we labelled our scans, the way that we offered care to women, the way we led the care that we provided. We then re-audited our service and demonstrated that our level of compliance had increased to 77%, and hopefully we are confident that we will be able to sustain that improvement to our service delivery.
That's fantastic. What else can you do with clinical audit?
There are national audits as well, like this one.
Hello, my name is Dr. Richard Bell. I'm one of the diabetes consultants at Stepping Hill Hospital. I'd like to really sing the praises of the clinical audit department and the help they gave us last year in terms of contributing to the national diabetes audit. Over many years we've contributed to the national diabetes inpatient audit, and some time ago we used to contribute all of our patient data for national diabetes audit. After a mammoth project we were able to submit around 2,000 patients with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, which is going to allow us tremendous benefit in terms of patient care over the next few years. In fact, one of our next projects is going to be looking at people with type 2 diabetes who are high risk of having hypoglycemia and potential death as a consequence of being on inappropriate therapies, and we should be able to target and tailor their care to the best possible outcomes for them.
So they tend to be big topics then?
Not at all. Sometimes they can be spot checks like these.
Over the last 12 months I've been involved in doing spot checks in areas such as looking at how well the DNAR forms are completed, and from our initial audits we have been able to devise information and using a template to improve the quality of how DNARs are completed across the organisation. And from starting from a very low percentage, we are now seeing DNARs completed to a very high standard. We've provided evidence on good practice, areas that needs improvement, but in all of this underpins several things. Good communication, good engagement, and all of this will ensure that this organisation develop a good culture for delivering good patient experience.
What else can you do with clinical audit?
Well, there are quality improvement projects. In this case, data collected for an audit was the starting point for a local quality improvement project.
So I work in the emergency department. I'm one of the advanced clinical practitioners, and as part of my role I was asked to do a little bit of investigation around sepsis. So I asked the audit team to provide me with a data set, and they very kindly did. They gave me a validated data set with all the numbers of our patients that had red flag sepsis back between April 2016 and March 2017, and they were instrumental in me finding out what I needed to know, and having done the audit it identified that we've got a real problem with our antibiotic compliance, and the main issue with regards to that was our rapid assessment and treatment process that we delivered to patients in the department. So from this we implemented a quality improvement project, which was the introduction of a formal rapid assessment treatment service, which ran from 8 till 5 initially, and we prolonged the hours and introduced a robust allocation structure, which has had a really good improvement overall on our compliance with antibiotics.
But how do we collect data?
The Trust now uses a software tool called AMAT that tracks all audit activity and is used for data collection.
AMAT, the system that this organisation has in terms of capturing audit, is, in my experience, one of the best I've seen. Not only does it enable nurses to engage with the process from the ward area, they can log on and do the areas which are necessary for their department, but they can see results, and the results can be accessed at any point in the organisation from anywhere. Clinicians can see them, and the results are very informative and very good for teaching and training.
That's amazing. I didn't realise all the things clinical audit can do.
Yes, and we can all help improve quality of care by using clinical audit.
For many years now, clinical audit has been a requirement for most doctors. So whether you're a trainee or a consultant or SAS doctor, for your portfolio or for revalidation, audit has been a must. The problem with that is that sometimes those audits have just been data collection, and they really haven't informed the way that we manage our patients better. So what we're trying to say is that clinical audit and subsequent quality improvement is all about our job. It's about making the care that we give our patients better every day. And that can be something very simple. It can be just looking at the way we work as clinicians and making a small change that makes an improvement. Or it can be a service development within the trust that has a big impact on a lot of people. But in every case, it's about really looking at how we work, looking at the evidence of best practice, what we can do better, how we can make improvements, using the data that we have really intelligently to make the right improvements, and then monitoring the outcome of those improvements so that every single day is a step towards better care for those patients that we represent. And it's not just about numbers. It's certainly not about saying we've made a 15% improvement in this or a 30% reduction in that. It's what does that mean to the population that we serve? So if we improve the way we manage pain in a cohort of patients, how many people have we actually given a better patient experience to? And I think that's what we've seen from some of the examples today, is that the real value and the difference that we can make to our patients by doing audit and quality improvement to the best of our abilities.